Okay, roll.
We cannot hear you.
Okay, can you see, quick check, can you see the slides that I'm sharing with you?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So very warm greetings from the GLOBE program, Philippines. To our guests from GIO, the GLOBE Asia Pacific Coordinating Office, the Youth Leadership Council of BICOL, student, teachers, and guests, mabuhay. Again, a very warm afternoon from Manila. Thank you for taking your time to attend our webinar entitled Building Community Resilience Through Environmental Education and Awareness. The objective of our webinar presentation today is simply to share with you some of our ideas and initiatives conducted during the pandemic season, which you may find useful or adaptable in your situation, either as country coordinator or teacher or student, and even perhaps even improve on them. Here at the GLOBE program Philippines, we believe that ideas are contagious, like the coronavirus, and the good ones spread. So our presentation will take approximately a little over an hour. It's divided into two parts. The first part is I intend to share with you one of our programs called the GLOBE EduShare program, followed by our presentation of the tree challenge for 2021, which basically involves the planting, monitoring, and mapping of trees all across the country as our participation in the GLOBE program tree challenge. To make that presentation interesting, I will be showing you, and this is more targeted for students who's not familiar with the usage of the GLOBE Observer app, and also show you how to monitor satellites that is used by NASA to validate your things. And lastly, the use of GLOBE data visualization and data retrieval, or the advanced data retrieval tool of the GLOBE database. Part 2 will be presented to you by Ms. Joan Callope, where she will do a quick demonstration of the GLOBE program, particularly the water quality protocol modules that we have prepared and the IVSS module. And finally, she will be talking about online resources for research for IVSS. So let's begin. As you know, on March 12, 2020, the World Health Organization announces COVID-19 pandemic, following more than 20,000 confirmed cases and nearly 1,000 deaths from the European region. But even prior to the announcement, countries around the world, particularly those in the Asia-Pacific region close to China, where the virus was said to have begun, started taking drastic steps in order to contain the spread of the virus. These steps include closing borders and restricting the travel and movement of people across the region. To date, more than 72 million COVID cases have been recorded worldwide, with more than 1.6 million deaths. And it has put the global economy down to its knees with the worst recession since World War II. On March 15, 2020, shortly after the announcement of the World Health Organization, the Philippines declared a state of emergency and placed the entire nation under lockdown. Borders between provinces and cities were closed. public transport were suspended, and the movement of people were restricted. Basically, people were confined to their homes. Needless to say, such lockdown has affected schools, causing them to prematurely end the school year. The lockdown continued for months, and as the new school year approaches, uncertainty sets in. News on academic freeze reverberate throughout the nation as more and more parents demand the closure of schools for an entire school year out of fear for the safety of their children. But at the same time, public discussions on remote teaching and learning as a feasible alternative to face-to-face teaching proliferated, hoping to avoid the option of an academic freeze. But remote learning is not without problems, particularly the option of online learning. There have been serious questions about the readiness and preparedness of Filipino students, teachers, parents, and school administrators to implement such radical shift in conventional classroom teaching. But despite the opposition of certain sectors and groups, and after postponing the school year twice, which was supposed to start on June 2020, the national government decided against academic freeze and allowed the reopening of school on the second week of October this year. However, it banned face-to-face learning. That means schools are compelled to adopt remote learning modalities. It is during this period of uncertainties in the education system in the Philippines that the GLOBE Program Philippines has been finding ways to help schools and teachers cope with the challenges of COVID-19 and at the same time remain relevant. As you know, COVID-19 has suspended all our planned activities for 2020. Again, this is when the GLOBE program decided to develop EduShare. The GLOBE program EduShare can be accessed through with the website www.globeprogram.org. It is a Moodle-based learning management system which we hope to offer to GLOBE schools and teachers for free. For the Philippines, as a third world and developing country, online learning is relatively a new thing. For most schools, teachers, and students, they have never been exposed to this kind of thing. And insofar as the public education system is concerned, they simply neither have the budget nor the infrastructure or even the experience to implement this. And this is where we came in. On July 25, 2020, the GLOBE program became live, accessible to the public, and was tested and simulated. Ms. Joan Callope was the first to be trained as systems administrator. After all the bugs have been fixed, we announced the GLOBE EduShare program nationally through TV and radio with the appearance of Ms. Joan Callope in this TV program. Let me show you a very short clip of our announcement of the GLOBE EduShare. Turo-turong pangguro, sari-sari ang hain, napapanahong usapin, sagot sa suliranin, sama-samang hanapin, tuloy
naman, meron din tayo syempre kasama sa hapunan na ito na isang magaling na science teacher. Actually, nanalo siya ng Best Teacher Award sa Quezon City noong World Teachers Day. At siya ay galing Batasan Hills. Oo, galing niya. Saludo ako dito kay ma'am. Siya ay galing sa Batasan Hills National High School. I-welcome natin ang ating katribo, si Ma'am Joan Callope.
Po, magandang gabi po sa lahat, lalong-lalo na sa Batasan Hills National High School Community po at GLOBE Program EduShare.
Ayan, oo nga, alam mo, ni-research ko yung GLOBE program yan. Ang ganda ng GLOBE program na yan, ma'am. Di ba? Talagang maraming bata na kinabang sa science. Tama. Ayan, ma'am, so ang tatlong tanong din po, no, sa iyo naman bilang isang science teacher, una, paano nyo nakikitang nagbabagong papel mo bilang isang science teacher? Tapos pangalawa, paano mo haharapin ang pagbabago na ito? At pangatlo, paano mo na-imagine ang science classes mo this school year?
Magandang
So the point of the discussion of this forum is to discuss the changing role of teachers amidst the COVID pandemic. And if you will continue watching the,
ang guro
if you
ay
continue
nasa loob
watching
ng
the
silaralan,
video
kaharap
clip,
ng mga mag-aaral, gamit ang pisara at itong huli gumagamit.
Ms. Joan Callope is introducing the changing role of teachers and how the GLOBE program can facilitate in the transition of this new role of teachers. To summarize, without having to play the entire video clip, one of the biggest shifts in the role of teachers in this pandemic situation is that teachers are becoming course designer as well and no longer limited to simply delivering modules. So we will skip the entire clip. It's a 30-minute program, and we would just probably post the link to this video clip in the GLOBE website. So basically, what is this GLOBE program EduShare? It is a Moodle-based learning management system. For some of you who are not familiar with Moodle, Moodle is the world's most popular and #1 open source learning management system. So when we decided to develop the GLOBE EduShare program, the first thing we did was to buy a domain. And that's why the domain GLOBE program belongs to the GLOBE program Philippines, where this learning management system is hosted. We also rented a server located in Singapore and Michigan to deliver this LMS. Providing the infrastructure is the simplest task in coming up with a viable, effective, and efficient learning management system. What is harder is training them and organizing them. So from August until October, we started training schools, school administrators, teachers, and department heads on how to run an LMS from an institutional point of view. So we have to organize them as such. We have had trainings for school managers, for course creators, and teachers for the delivery of different modules and classes. Again, the entire LMS is being provided to GLOBE schools and teachers for free. We also try and promote this EduShare collaborative learning framework, which basically brings the entire education stakeholder into a single learning portal, in order to contribute to the development of the student. We believe in the old African adage that it takes an entire community to raise a child. So that's where this concept is coming from. And while that saying that it takes an entire community to raise a child sounds beautifully, but in reality, it is very difficult to implement with all the physical restrictions of physical restrictions in place. But with a learning management system, you've actually, it transcends time and space boundaries and restrictions, allowing you to better implement such a concept that this collaborative learning. So to date, we have trained over 61 schools, 28 high schools, 33 elementary schools. The system also has 1,249 account users, and we have trained over 920 teachers and school administrators. Easily, the number would exceed about 1,200 because we have not received the final list of those who participated in our training program. So just a quick rundown of the activities that's keeping us busy during this pandemic season. So again, on the 25th of July, we launched the GLOBE EduShare. On the 4th of August, we announced this nationally. We started the first training on the 5th of August with a teacher. We started training on the 4th of August involving Batasan High School. And for some of you who knows Batasan Hills National High School, it is the largest high school in the Philippines with over 16,000 enrollments. Initially, the idea is to offer the GLOBE EduShare to the science unit of Batasan Hills. But after our training on August 4th, we received a lot of requests from different schools from within Quezon City and in other regions as well. Of course, expanding the EduShare is not an easy decision to make because it is also costly and there is really the funding is basically personally funded. This project is funded with private funds. So we expanded the EduShare, continued with our teacher training. On the 9th of August, as I have shown you the clip, we have made the announcement in national radio, in national TV and radio appearance of Ms. Callope. On August 25, we beta tested the secured remote assessment with the Safe Exam browser. This which should allow teachers to deliver tests in a relatively secured environment, which means you can give out quizzes, exams via online, in a relatively safe and secure manner. I'm not saying foolproof, but it is something that many of our teachers find very useful in their conduct of remote teaching and learning. Then on the 27th of August, 2020, we conducted teachers, unit heads, and school administrators in DepEd Camarines Sur in Bicol with over 150 attendees for this training. And this is in collaboration with the Pili Local Government Unit and the DepEd Schools Division Office in Camarines Sur. The next day, 28th of August, we conducted another training, but this is more for user training for teachers. Over 150 people, well, 150 people are supposed to attend, but it was cut short due to a power outage later in the afternoon. And what happened next is peer-to-peer tutorial were conducted in order to complete that training. Then on 19th September, the schools division office, which is the largest schools division office in the Philippines with over 180 teachers attending, we conducted administrator training for the EduShare program. Then on December 12th, very recent, Ms. Joan Callope went to Camarines Sur in order to conduct training and tree planting activity together with the Youth Council of Camarines Sur and in collaboration with the Pili LGU. Ms. Callope also attended the inset training of teachers in Camarines Sur. So The long-term objective of the EduShare, there's a typographical error in this slide. The long-term objective of EduShare is to serve as an online learning platform for GLOBE protocols. It is our long-term vision that we convert all these GLOBE protocols into modules or modular form for online delivery. This would also make it easy for any teacher, GLOBE teacher, to integrate these modules in his or her teaching activity. In the next few months, we hope to add more modules, GLOBE protocol modules in the EduShare platform. While we have been very busy in developing, expanding the GLOBE EduShare, two catastrophic event happened in the Philippines in November. We were hit by two successive super typhoon. On November 1, the Philippines was hit by super typhoon Rolly, packing wind speed of about 315 kilometers per hour, which is 10 kilometers per hour short of the strongest typhoon ever recorded to have hit land, which regrettably happened in the Philippines as well in 2014. And it entered the Philippines via the Bicol region. Bicol happens to be the province of Ms. Joan Callope as well. 2 weeks after that, while the country is still reeling from the devastation and aftermath of Super Typhoon Rolly, we were hit by another typhoon, Typhoon Ulysses. Well, Typhoon Ulysses has wind speed of about 213 kilometers per hour. Its most destructive effect is on the rain it brought. After Typhoon Ulysses entered or passed the Philippines area of responsibility, it led a trail of destruction, and the Philippines simply experienced its worst flooding in history. Sadly, it entered the Philippines via the Bicol region as well. So Bicol was hit twice. And it is at this time that the GLOBE program has been making some discussions. How do we make ourselves relevant? Some teachers have conducted relief operations, soliciting donation for distribution to affected families of the typhoon. But we thought of a better and more sustainable action in order. Maybe the result is not expected to come in soon, to mitigate the impacts of these destructive events. Meaning, one of the reasons why areas in the Philippines were inundated with flood is because of massive forestry cutting. So when we were having our discussion what we can do in light of these events, we thought of, diversifying the GLOBE activities, because for the GLOBE activities in the Philippines, because for the past many months and years, we have been very focused on the Zika protocol and allied protocols, which has done very well for the Philippines, considering that for the past two IVSS, the Philippines have been the top winner for the IVSS under mosquito. So we thought of adding to our focus tree planting, or participating in the various tree campaigns of GLOBE. Now, but we wanted it to be quite different, because the GLOBE tree planting challenge is all about measuring tree heights and, of course, land cover and basically the biosphere. So we thought of, why not add tree planting into it, and then map these trees and monitor their growth for the next 5 to 10 years. So what I'm trying to say is that the way we will be participating in the GLOBE program tree challenge is quite different, because we are not going to limit ourselves to measuring tree heights and measuring and observing the biosphere, but we will also be planting trees at the same time. Plant them, monitor them, and send data to the GLOBE database. So let me just quickly show you a clip prepared by the Youth Leadership Council of the Bicol region, who helped us realize the launching of this 1 million trees by 2025 project in partnership with the Pili LGU.
The GLOBE Program Philippines, in cooperation with the LGU Pili, Pili Municipal Youth Officials, FPYO, and Menro, is having their tree planting activity right now that aims to plant 1 million trees by 2025. This tree planting activity is not a standalone activity. We need to commit ourselves into a series of environmental actions. We need to protect our forests, our mountains, our oceans, our seas, our rivers, in order for us to succeed in this advocacy. Furthermore, in order for us not to waste our efforts in this tree planting activity, we need to assess our progress every quarter of the year. We need to continuously have tree planting activities and assure that we have planted 1 million trees by 2025. This is a commitment that we must take. It needs a passionate heart in order for us to succeed in our advocacy and environment. To summarize, we need 3 C's in this advocacy. We need 1, commitment; 2, collaboration; and then lastly, consistency. Commitment needs a passionate heart. It needs an individual in order for us to keep going. 2, we need collaboration. It does not only need an individual to save the environment. We need the whole community. We need everyone to work hand in hand in this advocacy. And then lastly, we need consistency. We should not stop. We should not be lenient. Because we don't know if tomorrow will not have a place to all.
You know, I like what he said. He said, if I may repeat what he said, it's time that we protect our rivers, oceans, and mountains and start monitoring them. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what the GLOBE program does. It collects data about the environment for use of scientists who have the tools, the knowledge to solve real-life problems that's threatening us all threatening all of humanity. Now, when we thought of focusing on trees as part of our campaign for 2021, we considered a number of things why tree would be a very good alternative in our intent to diversify GLOBE activities in the Philippines. You see, when I say before the development of the latest GLOBE Observer app, and I will explain to you what GLOBE Observer app in a short while. In order to measure trees, although it's simple, there are tools that you need to have with you. First, you need a clinometer, but fortunately, one can build his or her own clinometer. And it's building this clinometer is a very fun activity in school. Children find it very worthwhile building their own instrument for measuring tool. But one thing that many schools don't have, particularly the public schools in the Philippines, due to lack of funding is a long tape measure. I mean, maybe schools can easily afford to buy a long tape measure because it's not enough that you measure it's not enough for you to measure tree heights with the use of clinometer. You need to have a tape measure as well. And we're talking about tape measure that should be at least twice, thrice the length of the longest tree that you are observing. So it's not easy, especially for citizen scientists, because how many citizen scientists do you see carries with him or carries with her a tape measure? But fortunately, sorry, my slide is jumping. Just sorry, yeah. Okay, wait a while, because I seem to be missing one slide. Okay, let me. This particular slide was out of place from the rest. So, what I'm trying to say is, it is very easy now, a lot easier than before, and very practical to include trees in your GLOBE campaigns. Why? Because you don't need any of those instruments anymore. All you need is a cellular phone, a smartphone, and download the GLOBE app. Let me show you how this is done with the GLOBE app. So that is the GLOBE app. Download it. The GLOBE app will load in, and you just follow the instructions. And the good thing about this app is that every step of the way, there is an, oops, sorry. Every step of the way, there is a discussion, tips about trees, things that you can do with the GLOBE app. So in this case, the user is being asked to key in whether metric or English measurement, asking you to key in your height. Again, this is all done using a smartphone fitted with the GLOBE app observer, so that we don't need a clinometer. We don't even need a tape measure. Then after you've keyed in your height, then you just click next, type in the date and time that you're making the observation, key in the conditions at the time that you are making this observation. And you start measuring tree. The first is with the use of the camera, align the baseline to the baseline, this line to the baseline of the tree. If you're happy with that alignment, you tap and you now align the line on top of the tree height. If you're happy with that, take photograph of the picture that you're observing and now count the steps from where you are standing to the base of the tree. So in this case, it took me 28 steps from where I was standing until the base of the tree. Key in your longitude and latitude, that coordinates where you are conducting the observation. If you don't know the longitude and latitude, that's fine, because the GLOBE Observer app also has a map. All you have to do is zoom in the map and then locate the precise location where you are conducting the observation. If you're happy with that, then set position. You have the option of measuring the tree circumference, or skip that altogether, that's fine. And voila, the app calculates the height of tree. And in this particular example, the height of that tree is 42 feet and 9 inches, all done with an app. If you're happy with that observation, then you can just simply click finish and send the data to the GLOBE data about the GLOBE program or participating in the GLOBE program. Is that when you ask students to do these kind of activities, they could actually see and validate whether their data has been uploaded in the GLOBE database. And in a short while, I will show you the GLOBE database. And it brings them joy to know that the data that they are collecting has the potential of being used for research purposes, not just fellow students, not just of their fellow students, but students across the globe and even real scientists. So, as I've said, the 3 challenge is something that's very practical, doable for the GLOBE Philippines, because it now makes it a lot easier to measure tree heights without the need of those tools that I've shown you a while ago. There are these 3 challenges. One is the tree challenge for GLOBE. And the mechanics of this challenge is very simple. Whoever has the most number of measurement of trees will be recognized as the top observer in the challenge. Very simple. Every day, all you do is take pictures of trees and click that send and send that data to the GLOBE database. But you know what is even more interesting? Do you know that the data collected by your students and the data that they upload to the GLOBE database is validated by NASA? Which means if they have it wrong, if they had these data wrong, there are times that they will receive emails from NASA telling them, could you do your measurements again and validate, because the images that we are seeing from space, yes, from space. And I will show you how we can track these satellites data, which NASA uses in order to validate the measurements that we send into the GLOBE database. The point is, students are actually engaging in meaningful discussions with real-life scientists by simply participating in these challenges or GLOBE activities. There's another challenge, a tree challenge that we will be participating this year, and that is the Trees Around the Globe Research Campaign. Hopefully this campaign will also lead to submission of research papers on IVSS. For more details about the mechanics of this campaign, you may visit the GLOBE website and simply search Trees Around the Globe Research Campaign. Now, let me just quickly, and this is more for the students, and maybe a refresher for country coordinators present in this webinar today. Let me just show you very quickly the GLOBE database, and which I believe is the strongest feature of the GLOBE program. Let me just share you in another screen. Okay, so if you go to the GLOBE program, okay, wait, let me stop this sharing and let me share you another screen. It's going to be quick. So click visualization, data visualization, and it will lead you to this portal. And the best thing about this is that this is free access to everyone with an internet connection. So if you need any data about trees, and there's so many other data that you can look for, I don't know, maybe you're a teacher, a researcher, the GLOBE database is a very useful tool for for whatever it is that you're doing. And you can set the data, the dates of measurement, click submit. Okay, just wait a while, and it should give you the data that you are looking for. Again, we have so many data in this database. You've got data on atmosphere, temperature, on biosphere, hydrosphere, etc. So, okay, where's the Philippines? Here's the Philippines. And again, you can zoom it up to street level. If you want to see the specific measurements or data uploaded by individuals or schools. Wait a minute, I'm missing, where's the Philippines? Okay, sorry, there's the Philippines. Okay, you can see on the left side, it's still populating. So there, again, you can zoom this into street level. And if any of your students submitted in any data, you can simply click that particular point and you can zoom in further, as I said. You can zoom in up to street level. And it will show you the data that you have set. And you can download them. You can download them in Excel form. You can even look at the pictures and data about the school or student who uploaded the picture. So you can see the application is unlimited. One other useful tool that the GLOBE program has is the data retrieval. Through the data visualization tool, you can download data. But if you want specific types of data, you can use the advanced data access tool. All you have to do is go to www.globe.gov, go to Globe Data, and go to ADAT. Then select your protocols, clouds. When do you want these, at what date range do you want these protocols, or these data that were collected? Add that, and the country. And simply add a filter, and that's it. And it should give you the, okay, I'm having internet problem. Anyway, it's very user-friendly. And with this tool, you can access data, download them, and then apply statistical treatment in them for your research purposes. And the last thing I'd like to show you, and the reason why I'm showing this to you, because students find this very interesting. If you want to conduct tree activity, try and schedule them at a time when the NASA satellite is flying overhead your location and conducting validation tests. Again, that's the beauty of the GLOBE data. There is a quality check. NASA observes the Earth using satellites above space, in space, located 600 kilometers above sea level. And our job as citizen scientists and GLOBE teachers and students is to provide them validation data from the ground. If you're conducting soil tests, the satellite that conducts validation tests is the SMAP. SMAP stands for Soil Moisture Active Passive Satellite. For tree heights, it is the ISAT. But I noticed that ISAT doesn't fly over Asia Pacific. But the SMAP, let's try the SMAP. If you want, for example, to conduct measurements of soil or land cover, type in the date in which you plan to collect, to conduct observation. Type in your latitude, your longitude, and then submit. You know, students really find it very interesting because they can't believe that they would have access to the location of satellites. And there are so many satellites being used by NASA for the GLOBE program. So basically what we're seeing here is that on the 18th of December, the SMAP satellite will be 118 kilometers away from the site that I have put in. So meaning it will take a while before the satellite would be able to conduct validation tests. We can change the dates and find which time and day of the year in which the satellite will be closest to your site observation. And so basically that's it. The satellite predictor tool of the GLOBE program gives it another reason for students to be interested in this case, 3 activities, because they would have knowledge of how they can track the location of satellites. And to end this, this is SMAP. You can Google what SMAP is, SMAP. What it does is that as it hovers 625 kilometers above sea level, it sends an infrared signal that can detect the composition of soil up to 5 centimeters. So that is what it does. If a student, a teacher, or a GLOBE citizen scientist were to upload any data in the GLOBE database, the SMAP satellite would conduct validation, data validation on those observations. And it will give you feedback whether you are right or whether you are wrong, but in a very nice way. But the best thing is that whoever is sending that data would have the feeling that he is learning together with a real life scientist, or at least that his data is being checked or validated. And with that, and I hope you don't find this presentation too lengthy and boring, because I would have to give the floor to Ms. Joan Callope. That brings to the end of my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions after Ms. Joanne.
www.globeprogram.org or the EduShare, and the GLOBE International Virtual Science Symposium, or IVSS 2021. Next, please. Okay, if you are new into GLOBE, because we have invited new teachers here, this is the GLOBE website. You can go to this website by typing in your URL, www.globe.com. And it has simple parts. This one is a menu, and then about. So it says about the history and statistics of GLOBE and others. And getting started is for new teachers, if STEM professionals, and citizen scientists. And get trained, you can have training online or offline. And in Do GLOBE, you can have resources for the GLOBE program, such as protocols, classroom activities, field lab guides, and all others. For the GLOBE data, as Rod discussed a while ago, you can have here the data entry, the ADAT, and the visualization data, and the API. For the community, if you click on this part, you can see that the GLOBE program is a large community of science people. So you can see here the different countries involved, the different people in the GLOBE program. And the news and events of the GLOBE program website is always updated. And you can check here also if you want to check on the IVSS, it is where you can find that, and the different campaigns of the GLOBE program and the support. If you don't have an account yet, you can click this part, the part with my picture. It says log in there, and you can create an account using your email. And after creating an account, you just have to confirm your account in your email, and that's it. The other one, the small button, is for the search box. And we are presenting it, this website is presented in different languages. Okay, so that's the first resource that we have in GLOBE. And then the next one is the Globe Observer app, which was already shown by Rod a while ago. So before we only have clouds, mosquito, and land cover. Now trees is added. And it can be downloaded in iPhone or Android phone. So basically smartphones. Next, please.
And it makes data collection a lot easier, and data
Yes.
submission it's done automatically for you by the phone.
Yes, and because of that, you don't need to bring any other things. It's very basic and user friendly. And the language, if you have problem with language, the language used in that app is accommodating to all people who are non-English
Users.
speaker. Yes, user. So here is the GLOBE program. Can you go to www.globeprogram.org, and I will just command.
You want me to go to www.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then I have to stop this first and share
Yes.
your window.
Yes. And .org, you just have to type in any browser www.globeprogram.org. And you may create an account if you wish to use this, but for this demonstration, thank you.
Okay, so you want me to type www.
Yes. Kindly type www.globeprogram.org. Thank you. And then it will bring you into this page. If you are going to click this three lines on the upper part where you can see the EduShare, getting started, GLOBE program, high school, elementary schools, and then help desk. And then
you need to create a school account first, right?
Yes. So you are going to click login if you need to if you want to create an account and use this LMS. So kindly log in, please.
You want me to log in?
Yes. Thank you.
My username.
Yes. Using your username and your password, which is composed of 8 characters, small letter, capital letters, special character, and a number. And just click login.
Okay, so I'm logged in now.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Click cancel. Okay, so if you click the site home.
Site home.
Yes, which is found on the left side of your computer. And then click GLOBE program. I want to show the GLOBE program part.
You want the GLOBE program?
The GLOBE program link.
One.
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, let me start showing you the GLOBE news and events where you can find resources for IVSS. Okay, and back please.
You want back?
Yes, and because I'm not going to use this in showing IVSS, but this one can be used in creating IVSS. So we transform all the resources in the GLOBE program into this LMS so that students can easily create IVSS. Next, can you click GLOBE data? And then just to show what's in GLOBE data, we have here data entry, visualize data, and retrieve data. Click back, please.
Data entry.
No, back. And then the GLOBE, yes, the GLOBE protocol. So we have here the GLOBE. And it is divided into the different sphere, the atmosphere, the biosphere, hydrosphere, the soil, and the earth as a system. The goal of this is to basically transform those files found in the globe.gov into a material usable in a classroom. So I'm going to show you an example of this LMS in hydrosphere. Kindly click hydrosphere. Yes. And you can see here the different protocols. Kindly click collecting water sample, please. Thank you. And this is an example of a lesson from the GLOBE website. Okay, so in the Philippines, we always start a lesson with a prayer. Please.
You want me to click it?
Yes. Okay, so you can see here that there is a prayer, and on the lower part, you can see what is next into the lesson. So basically, the student will be led into the next part. So yes, for classroom management, we have this netiquette. And then next, yes.
John, do you want me to play it?
I think there's no need for that.
Okay,
So the next part of the lesson is the pre-test. There will in this LMS there are different ways to make a test.
So basically, it's a standalone learning tool. Students don't even need any students or any users don't need additional guidance on how to go through the course or subject. And the best part of it is that it can be designed in such a way that if any students would ever need guidance, that the system itself will show them how to correct their mistakes and
exactly
basically teach them. It's a system where students won't really be needing teacher. It's independent learning at its best.
Yes. Can you click that part? Yes, attempt quiz.
You want me to attempt the quiz?
Yes, so this is an example of a quiz item. And here you can see the mark for this item and all other information about this quiz. So if a student got a wrong answer, depending on your restriction or the settings that you have set, and then the students can retry or do this again if you set it in a way that you can. But then the good thing about this is that the students can have a feedback right away. So the student will know if the answer is wrong or right. And as a teacher, you can have your data about the answers of the students and how the students perform. So
this
going
one gives
up.
you
Yes.
yeah?
Yes. So it gives you a feedback. So why students got a wrong answer, and on the grades, if you are going to click that grades, there is an analysis for this part, and then click join and enjoy. Okay, for this part, this one is a chat. Here I have written here the objectives of this lesson, and in this part, the student can chat, but the teacher needs to be online. But if you want to chat the teachers, even if and you want your teachers or any part of this subject to read your chat, you can simply click the chat on the upper part near the system administrator or the login. So there is the chat thing here. The message, yes. So you can chat your friends, your schoolmates that is within the same subject. You cannot chat somebody outside the subject. Okay, next, going back to the lesson. Okay, the next part. Yes.
What?
The next part of the lesson. Yes. Kindly turn off your chat, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, so on the lower part, yeah, you have here the introduction of the water sampling. You can design it in any way you want. Here I have, if the student do not want to read, and then I prepared an audio. So you can, a teacher can design maybe better than this presentation. Calibration. And then calibration is a procedure. Yes, after this, after that, it is designed with a practice quiz, so that to check if the students have understand the lesson. And then as a teacher, you can design the student to go back to the part of a lesson which she or he found difficult. And then if the student passed the test, the practice quiz, then he or she can move into the next part of the lesson. Thank you. And
So
then
you can design it in such a way that the learning module is adaptive to the level of competency and knowledge being gained by the student. So there's so many ways to design this.
Yes. And here is another way. If the students were not able to learn from that, there is another way to present the lesson. So here, it is just an example. So the definition of terms, and then the next part, please. So just to make sure that the students master the knowledge, and so that we are sure that before the student go out, they are prepared and know well the topic. And then I also prepared here a review before. This review is for the student to prepare for the quiz. But it is designed that if the students do not want to take a review and he or she is fine with the lesson, then she can move with the test.
Okay, do I go to quiz?
Yes, yes, please. This is just the video anyway. And here is another quiz. I think you don't need to go to that part. There are different types of quiz. So more than 10 types of quiz in this LMS. Kindly go to safety concern, please, the next part.
And with regards to administering quizzes and tests, you can secure it in such a way that you can control the student's browser.
Yes,
and that
using
is
the same browser.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so for this, it is also from the website. So we do not change anything. And please. So you can design it better if you are more creative than me, and just click page, and it will lead into another practice quiz. And then click playtime. I tried to design something for the students so that they will not be bored in the lesson. This is just easy. And if it does not fit, then he or she cannot move on. Try to do it the wrong way, please.
Wrong way, okay.
Yes.
So
So yeah. So
if it's wrong, it's not fitting.
yes, thank you. And then you can check it.
And then I can check it.
Yes, down, check, and you can have the score. So the students know how well or poor he or she performing in a particular part of a lesson. Next part, please.
Okay.
Thank you. So here is a collecting water sample in a bucket or field guide. And
you have this recording for the visually impaired. It's an audio recording of what's in it, right?
Yes, it's basically the same. And yeah, and I got this video. If you know people for students who don't like to read, then there is a video. And then next, page 1, please. And then again, it is for the practice quiz. And the next, water collection habit. It uses the H5P.
H5P is HTML5.
Yes, thank you.
Which is an interactive, you can make any videos interactive. Should I play it?
Yes, please. So it is designed in a way that in every part, in a particular part, in a point that you can see on your screen, it will stop and the students need to answer before moving on to the next part of the video.
Water samples should be taken before the
Internet is a bit slow, so. But what you will see if you keep on playing this is that at certain parts of the clip, there will be questions and students are meant to answer them like this. Collect water samples first before sediments. If you click in true, that's good. So
yes,
anyone
To
can
collect water
use their
samples.
favorite video and make it interactive using this LMS, and it's called H5P.
Interactive
Or
video.
HTML5.
You will need a polythene
So
or
there are
glass
different
bottle,
choices for the H5P, and one of that is interactive video.
and labeling
Let's move to the next
with the
part.
date, location, sample type.
So this one also is a standalone, where a student, if you want to use a Zoom or Google Meet for the face-to-face interaction, you
So
can use this.
If I click this, I will be sent into a synchronous learning type with all the
Yes.
students and teachers in front of me using my video, yeah?
Yes, that's correct. So that is the goal of this, to have asynchronous and synchronous in one space.
And you can make use of Zoom or Google, and it
Yes.
integrates very well with this LMS.
And next part, this is just an example. So forum is also very good for students, especially for those students who are in higher sections. This forum can be used for your HATS questions or higher thinking order skill. Next, please. And so we have here now the post-test. If the students failed in this test, he or she will be led into the remediation. Yes.
We're not going to go through it. Remediation,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes. So if the students passed, then the student will not be able to open this part of the lesson.
Because you designed it in that way, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's kind of like before you can go to step 2, you must pass or meet a certain grade in step 1.
Okay, so this kind of presentation is basically you're going to click the lower part for the next pages. And there is a question, it is very simple and presented in different types so that the students will not be bored. Okay, so and then you can have right away a feedback.
Yeah. So let me just quickly, if I make a wrong answer, it tells
You can
me
retry.
retry until I get it right? So again,
Yes.
that's wrong. So you can't move to the next one until you get it right. And then, okay.
Yeah.
So survey.
Yes. So
And while the system is doing all this, it records all student attempts and scores automatically in the grade book. Is that right?
yes. Just for the teacher to monitor how well the students are performing. And also it is designed in a way that students can answer, for this part of the lesson, it is designed in a way that the students can answer it in 2 or 3 times attempt.
Because
Yes.
you designed it that way.
Yes. But I do not allow them to make more than 1 attempt in post-test. That's it. So here is a prepared survey. If I want to make my own survey, I will use another resource or activity. But in this example, I use the prepared one. So here, students can tell me which one is his favorite part, and so on. And the next part of the lesson, please. So this is an assignment. Now the students will collect a water sample using all the knowledge and skills from the lesson.
Yes. And you can grade them here, right? They can
Yes.
submit their answers here, and it can either be automatically graded or manually graded by you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, correct. That's it. So here the students just can simply click add submission, and
if they successfully meet all the requirements, a certificate may be automatically awarded to them, or
yes,
grades.
depending on what the teacher designed.
Okay.
So the next one is, can you click the next part, please? Assignment. This is for another section, so I tried to design it so that they can have different assignment. And then next. If the students wanted to read, I attach here the file of the water sampling PDF from the website. And that's it. Yeah. So this is the GLOBE program EduShare.
Should I log
Going
out?
back to my presentation, yes. Thank you. Trying to
Okay,
go
so
back
we
to
go
my
back
presentation. Yes.
presentation. Just this one, yeah? Is it
Yes.
this one?
Yes. So that GLOBE program EduShare is designed for students and for teachers for easy use in classroom. And then here
And
is
school administrator.
yes, for easy monitoring of teachers' performance and students' performance. So
for me, I've only done airborne field work, which is very different than being on a ship, and where it's just very isolated. Like that ship is really your whole world, and all those people on the ship are your whole world. And then outside the ship is this just very hostile landscape. It's cold, there's polar bears, there's water that can open up underneath your feet. And so it was a very interesting experience to be on the ship, which was very safe and warm and felt good. But then we'd go out and we'd do our field work, and we'd set things up, and we'd be out on the ice, and you could feel like this is a very wild environment. As we were transiting through the ice, we were searching for a suitable ice floe, something that was thick enough that could support us working on safely and also survive throughout the year. While searching for that flow, we had different satellite tools that we were using that would identify the shape of the flows. We could see how big the flows were, but what we didn't know was how thick they were. We went to some of these flows and we found, no, these are really thin. We can't actually use this flow. We looked at some ISAT-2 tracks in hopes that some of the flows that we had identified, we could see how thick they were.
This is
It
the
didn't work
ISAT,
out this time, but
which
for
anyone can
a
monitor
future
its location,
expedition,
or
I
at
think
least
we've
any
identified ways that we could utilize ISAT-2 or something
registered
like
GLOBE teacher or
ISAT-2.
student can monitor the ISAT.
okay. This one is very new. So I think it was just recently.
The ISAT is meant to measure and validate tree heights.
Well, there wasn't enough
Yes, it is.
data for MOSAIC or the multidisciplinary drifting observatory for the study of the Arctic climate to use. Dr. Nathan Kurtz and the team were able to locate an area with the right amount of sea ice thickness by using different methods. Likewise, scientists often use various methods to measure other aspects of our planet, like forests. So why take measurements of the same thing using different methods? And how does measuring sea ice thickness relate to tree height? Let's take a closer look at the Ice, Cloud, and Land Elevation Satellite, or ISAT-2. Its main purpose is to measure ice thickness using its sole instrument, Atlas. But it also measures tree heights as it orbits Earth. This is done with photon counting lasers and algorithms developed to differentiate what environments they are measuring. An algorithm
Do you want to
is a
play the whole
step-by-step
thing, Miss
procedure
Joanne?
for solving a problem, usually a mathematical
You can move
one,
into the next
limited
part.
number of steps.
Next.
The nation's
Yes.
top health officials warning that the Zika virus appears to be a lot scarier than first thought.
Florida now declaring a health emergency. At least 9 cases, now more than 30 cases detected here in the U.S.
Already 346 Zika cases are reported all over the country.
Everything we look at with this virus seems to be a bit scarier than we initially thought.
May kindly stop. Thank you. Okay, so this video are presented just for you to, just for the student to know, to have an inspiration of creating this project. A student can have an inspiration from what's happening in his or her surrounding, or from what's happening around the world that he or she might not be affected, like for example, the Zika. So here is an example, a very quick example on a research. This is very simple research on mosquito. In 2014, we don't have yet the GLOBE mosquito during that time, but she's studying mosquito. Kindly click play, please.
So you're basically showing all this to give reason why you need to be doing tree heights, mosquitoes, and it will all supposed to end into an IVSS research paper, right?
Yes.
I should play this.
I came to Australia to study the deadliest animal in the world.
Now, there may be some Australian audience members thinking, Struth, science has finally recognized the importance of the drop bears. But I'm not studying drop bears because around the world, by transmitting diseases like malaria and dengue fever, mosquitoes kill more than 1 million people every year, making them the deadliest animal on the planet. Now, in Australia, the most common mosquito-borne disease is Ross River virus, and it occurs at high rates in some areas, but not others. My question is why? What is it about certain areas that makes them breed disease? If we can understand the environmental factors that contribute to disease transmission, then we can alter the environment or target our control efforts to prevent human infections. But to answer that question, I had to find out where the infected mosquitoes were in South Australia. And traditionally, testing mosquitoes for virus has always been difficult. So I used a new technique. It takes these cards, which are embedded with virus-preserving chemicals, and coats them in honey. Mosquitoes will come to feed on the honey and in the process spit virus onto the card where it can later be detected. Now, no one had ever used this technique in a broad-scale virus survey before, so I had to adapt it. I developed new traps and set them at over 100 field sites across South Australia. And I captured over 20,000 hungry mosquitoes and let them feed on the card for a week before testing the cards for virus. Now, you may not think that these traps look very impressive, but science doesn't have to be beautiful. It has to be effective. And these traps are proving to be our most sensitive method of detecting infected mosquitoes. I found 3 types of infection: Ross River virus, Barmah forest virus, and Stratford virus, which has never before been found in South Australia. I now have the virus data I need to conduct my analysis, and I'm collecting publicly available data about the environment surrounding my traps, like the density of human housing, the biodiversity of mammals, and the ratio of green space to buildings, to see if any of those environmental factors can link these virus hotspots that I've shown here. But the most exciting part of my research so far has been the success of this method. Public health officials in Victoria, Queensland, and Western Australia have been in contact with us about implementing this technique for their surveillance next year. And I developed these traps in a tight budget. I used recycled milk cartons, pantyhose, and paper clips to make the traps. Each trap costs less than $1 and can be reused for the whole season. That was important to me because the majority of mosquito-borne disease risk happens in economically impoverished countries. In India, for example, where about 1/4 of the population lives on $1 a day, there are 33 million cases of dengue infection every year. With my low-budget virus surveillance and spatial analysis method, I can help any country, regardless of resources, find out where their deadliest animals occur, why they're there, and how we can stop them from infecting humans. Thanks.
Okay, so this video is presented because it has a full, the whole part of the research required in IVSS. So it also showed the skill of for communication, for communicating your research. Next page, please. So here is a research process where the presenter a while ago has a complete part. So first is observe nature. So you can have an inspiration from your nature. So looking at the world around you is an important step in your scientific process or scientific research. Your natural curiosity can lead to important discoveries that start with a question. So now you can have a question. How are you going to create a question? You can brainstorm it with your classmates or within your group, and select one research questions to investigate and form a hypothesis from that question. It must be testable and measurable statement intended to address the questions. So the next step is for you to develop a hypothesis and then plan and conduct your investigation. So you should develop a well-planned, well-detailed investigation wherein each step of methods should be observed, and then assemble the data. So in the IVSS, it is required that your IVSS entry must use the GLOBE data, and you are going to retrieve the data from the GLOBE website and analyze the data, and then have your conclusion and document your conclusion. And then the next step is for you to present your findings, and then you can pose again another question. And this is a circular step. Next part, please. So in this year, we have a lot of changes for IVSS 2021 because it will focus on the GLOBE data. Next, please. Rod. Thank you. Okay, so this is open to all ages, from kindergarten to undergraduate. So you should not be you should be aware that the rubrics are by grade level, and you are not competing. If you are an elementary student, you are not competing with a high school student or with an undergraduate student. There are a set of criteria for every grade level, and this year will be our 8th year of IVSS. Next. So in submitting your IVSS, you must have this six entries as part of your entries, 6 parts. The first one is a complete research written report. When we say complete research report, it means that your paper must have a title, an abstract, or a summary of your paper, an introduction, a methods and materials, and the results and data, the discussion, the conclusions, and the citations. So there are format for this thing. And then for the formatting, which is number 2, your paper must be in PDF form or docs. And then badges, there are badges in the website that you can select on, but then your research must be written or conducted in a way that it represents a badge of your choice. And then the next part is a presentation. So in your project, there should be a link for your presentation. It can either be video or in PowerPoint form. And then a thumbnail image for your video, and then a release form, which is to be signed by your parents and you as a student. Next, please.
Could you tell them what's in it for them, why they should participate in IVSS? What is in store for winners of IVSS? You have been a winner of this IVSS before.
Winners, the GLOBE program is very generous to IVSS winners, and being a winner itself is an honor because last year there are 200 entries for this category, and there are 200 plus judges all over the world. So it is not an easy task, and it entails a lot of work, but it is worth it. And the GLOBE program gave us $10,000 US stipend for travel. We will not get it as a cash, but it will be spent on travel expenses. And it's a good experience for students because they were able to communicate and to build a relationship with students that is of the same interest with them. So I think it's a lifetime experience for a student. And once you are a GLOBE student, you will be forever a GLOBE student. You will always come back to annual meeting. And presentation of research. Okay, so this is the part of a research report. The first one is an abstract. You need a maximum, it is composed of a maximum of 250 words that summarizes all the parts of the paper, the purposes of this project, the hypothesis, the procedure, the results, the conclusion. So it is a summary. So less than or a maximum of 250 words. Back, please. And then the next part is the title page and the table of contents.
Great.
Yes, and then the research question, which should be answerable, of course, and the research question must be related to GLOBE program. Next. And the materials and methods. In materials and method, you should be able to use the protocols from GLOBE by clicking in the www.globe.com. You can see there the Do GLOBE and just select the protocols of that you need and follow strictly the protocols and observe safety measures. And then the data, you should upload the data and retrieve the data from the website for your data analysis. And then for the results, okay, so you are going to analyze the results using your statistical tool and then formulate your conclusion. And of course, you need to acknowledge the people who help you along the way and the institution, of course. Next, please.
And of course, a minimum requirement to qualify for IVSS is that you use GLOBE data.
Yes, it is the basic of GLOBE IVSS. So here, the GLOBE IVSS is asking you to use APA as a citation format, or American Psychological Association format for reference. Next. So this one is a rubric for 9th to 16th grade for a high school and undergraduate. So there are different rubrics for different levels. So this one is for the 9th grade. So the first, I will not go through with this. This is available in the website. Yeah, so this is the basic part of the IVSS. You should have a title, an abstract or summary, a research questions, introduction and review of the literature and research methods. Results. Back, please.
So these are the different rubrics for different grade levels.
Yes, and then the results, the discussions, and then all other parts. So it should, there is an emphasis for the data. And then the next part is the virtual badges. You are going to select from these badges. And as I said a while ago, the focus for this year is the data scientist. So you should earn 4 stars, 0 to 4. So you should earn 4 stars to qualify. And then there's no limit for the project. You can submit as many as you can, but for the team, from my experience, a team should be composed of 2 students and a teacher, a GLOBE teacher. And the student should submit the data using the student account given to her or him by his or her teacher. This is the basic part of the poster. So this is the template. You can have it from the website of the GLOBE program. Next, please.
Can you cut short, Joan?
Yes.
Can you cut short?
Yes, it's almost done. So this is the changes for this year. So we have included other languages. So thank you.
Thank you, Joan, for the wonderful presentation. But